Well, I appreciate the transition. Sadly, there's no one who's going to be able to save those channel points for you, Shells, but you can definitely thank the man himself, Daaze, here in chat right now. I want to be the first to congratulate you on managing to pull this one back together coming into that game three. It looked like it was getting so rough for y'all in those first two, but you guys really managed to rope it in. I mean, seriously, this is the Capedogs that beat Lotus White. This is the Capedogs that managed to destroy what was the surge here from CB Clockwork. So honestly, massive praise to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, as I'd say, I don't know if I really left a spot for you to respond to that.
yeah.
That was just me simping.
I'll toss a question to you here for Days. Games 1 and 2, admittedly, maybe not your proudest moments, but despite that, you were able to pull out a game 3 win, and a lot of it. I mean, you gained a 2-level advantage at one point into Winterfresh. He played really, really well. What were your thoughts going into this top lane, and how did you turn it around in game 3?
Yeah, so Winterfresh is probably the best top laner I've faced like this whole tournament. Uh, and the wave balances it was good that like our jungler, Pele was able to play top side early, and then he was transitioning into bot side. But later on, seeing the matchup for Silas versus Set, he have less kill pressure on me. So it was easy to chill, relax, and you know, let my team do the work for me at the bottom lane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it definitely worked out. Audacious and Series for Y came through, but take me a little bit further onto that Silas pick. You know, we talk about it in game three, but it also had a presence in game one as well, more particularly just existing. Was there anything you kind of particularly learned from that first game playing in with the Silas off that Wukong? You know, something that maybe kind of changed up your presence and how you played against Winterfresh? I know Zen was a really big issue in that first game.
Yeah. So the first game, I actually gained a lead with like Pally getting the Herald to me. However, I was playing too passive and purchased like a Secret Amgars, and so I did not have enough of the damage. And I ended up losing the 1v1, which I was surprised I lost. And it's a snowball from there. So on the third game, went with my normal build and to build Everfrost, and I was able to do a melt instead of
Mm-hmm.
roll over and die.
Days, you mentioned kind of leaning on your team here. You know, your 280 carries, both in the mid and the bot lane here. They played really, really well from weeks 1 to around 3. In my eyes, you were the main carry of Capedogs. You were the guy who was winning your lane. You were able to find these team fight wins for Capedogs. So when you had bright spots, it was because of you. But lately, with the resurgence of Capedogs, you've seen big transformations in Pally, in Sirius for Y, in Audacious. These guys are stepping up. What's it like now? What's going on with the team? How have you guys found this new scrappy Capedogs look?
Yeah, so the first 1 to 3 the weeks there, we had a lot of problems with, sometimes the bot lanes that get a little snowball a little bit, and when I come down, there's not much I can do. So instead, we practice, and Audacious and Talons, they play really well together, especially on like Enchanters. And today it was also the Galio. After that, we should more likely put Pally down to the bot lane, and Sirius has always been like a strong performer. He never really fell behind, but with the help of Pally, they were able to play the bot side a lot more, and I can just self-sustain on the top lane.
Well, it definitely made its presence clear. I'm going to run you through a little bit of y'all's further schedule here. You're going to be taking on what is Support's Burden into Redacted, past that Divine Ascension Sapphire, and then to finish it all off for the season, Degenerate's Ascension. I know things are definitely starting to kind of peak in terms of the standings as we're going to start our transition towards looking at playoffs here shortly. Where do you guys think you stand? You know, at the very beginning, we definitely had our doubts regarding your squad, but as Dunzy has said, with this resurgence, is there anyone here as you look towards these last couple weeks that you might be a bit more worried towards or you're looking at especially?
So obviously, Redacted is a very strong team, but recently they got 3-0 by Lotus White, and we have scrimmed Lotus White like at least 2 times, and then one official match. So I think we can pull together as a team and potentially 2-1 or even 3-0 them. So there's not really anything to be worried about, but instead we want to focus and practice on our own match.
Well, hey, you heard it here first. That's a call right now. Someone write that down. That is Capedogs claiming that they're going to 2-1 what is redacted later on here.
I love it. I love the confidence, Daze.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Dunsey, any last questions for my main man here?
Just the floor is yours if you want to shout out anybody, Daze, your fans, your teammates. What do you have for us?
Well, I want to thank my teammate and especially our coaches to actually pull us through together, because like the week 1 to 3, I thought like we would not be able to like get much farther, but they practiced without junglers, bot lane as well, and finally they pulled through, and now our team is standing very strong.
Well,
Great to
hey,
hear, man.
man. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Thank you for taking the time to spread the wealth here onto the desk. I bode you the best of luck into your last remaining series here on Light League.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daze. Zephyr, you want to take us through the standings around Light League?
Yeah, well, let's give it a quick once over regarding what we saw happen here tonight across the board. I know we've been a little bit late on that, but to just give you through and through, Hawkthorn finding major success over Supports Burden. No surprise there, taking a 3-0 victory. In turn, you guys, of course, saw the Zenigma Cape mods, but Degenerates Ascension, they're still playing. They're going up against Classic right now. They're taking a major lead 2-0, but we don't quite know the results on that third. Redacted versus CB Clockwork. Redacted proving their mettle, did take game 1, but CB Clockwork back with Anderson Cooper in the jungle were able to bring it back around to a 2-1 victory in their last 2 games. So big presence from CB still is very existent here in the Excellency Light League. And Lotus White absolutely destroyed the competition, taking 3-0 against Divine Ascension Sapphire. But Dunsey, any last thoughts regarding Zenigma versus Capedogs?
I mean, as Enigma showed up for us tonight, Capedogs still looks good, especially in Game 3. I loved it. I love the scrappiness from both teams. They're both like in that middle pack here, and I'm eager to see them in the playoffs.
Well, I really hope we get to see both Zenigma and Capedogs. They've both proven to me that they're definitely not quite the absolute best that they can be right now, but they're definitely within the range of putting up a great fight against any one of the top teams here. So it would definitely make for a spicy quarters, semis, or even finals at any given point. That being said, we want to say thank you to all of you guys coming out tonight. I know we had some major raids, notably from AoE and right here recently, low budget LCS. We cannot appreciate your support more. And speaking of support, if you want to support us, go ahead, subscribe, come through on the Patreon, give us those follows. We got a YouTube channel with major content that we're now putting on. Everything that you can or would like to do, go ahead and do it. Twitter, Discord, YouTube, whatever. That being said, big thanks to our Destinites, Sulpan, and Sheltron. A great combo, a new pairing that'll definitely go on to shine as this league continues forward. J-Dogging, Wumbo, big presence on the production night, making those replays happen, making the absolute best of Excellency Light League. As for all of us, though, oh, Jake said sell some coffee? Okay. AM grind, baby. I don't know the link. I don't know the code. I don't know a single thing about it, but I do know it is coffee, and I do know it supports us. So if you want to send the love, you can also throw that our way. As for us, though, here, me and Dunsey on the desk, we are going to say our goodbyes. We'll be catching next week. We do have the rest of Excellency still heading out on its way. We got Mid League tomorrow night, same time, as well as Heavy League. And in case you don't know it, it is 7:30 Eastern. So if you want to catch those two, they come through with just as wonderful and magnificent pre-shows and content across the board. But as for us, we will be catching you next Tuesday. So I bid everyone to stay safe. Have a good night.